Unsurprised.
Yeah, no, not surprised.
Unsurprised. Disneyland is not opening in July. They pushed back the opening.
Well, it's not opening on July 17th. They haven't given another opening date.
I think it's going to be a while. That's just my personal opinion. So the shares are dropping. The petition that was out there, we had Disneyland employees, is like 50,000 names on this petition to delay it from opening, and Disney announced late last night.
Oh yeah, they waited till late.
Late last night, after hours, to announce.
Like they usually been doing.
Yep, to announce this. So this is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles. I forgot to introduce us.
Hey, we keep forgetting to tell people, hey, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you give us a like.
Like and subscribe. Do that, please. But yeah, so Disneyland late last night, Eastern time, they decided to drop bombshell that they weren't going to open when everybody thought they were going to open.
Yeah, I think they were going to open on the anniversary, the 65th anniversary of the park on July 17th. Now they are not opening on July. Well, no, they are opening their downtown Disney district on July 9th. That has not changed.
Well, that's just stores.
But I think the hotels and the resort, the parks anyway, are not opening on July 17th. But they don't have another date. Because they said that there aren't guidelines out. There won't be guidelines out from the state for theme parks until July 4th, so they don't know.
Yeah, well, the union was pushing for them to stay closed. California is in a pretty massive state of shutdown right now. It's probably one of I'd say California and New York are probably the two most shut down states currently. And this is the statement they put out. We'll read this and then we'll discuss. State of California has now indicated it will not issue theme park reopening guidelines until after July 4th. Given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back to work and restart our business, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of our theme parks and resort hotels until we receive approval from government officials. Once we have a clear understanding of when guidelines will be released, we expect to be able to communicate a reopening date. We're not going to know.
If there's any errors in this, I apologize because I was trying to cram this out really fast before you did a gaming video.
Oh, sorry. Our downtown Disney district. Yeah, Clownfish TV Gaming. Subscribe to there, too.
There you go. Sorry.
Our downtown Disney district will be open on July 9th, as previously announced, with health and safety protocols in place. The opening of our downtown Disney district has been previously approved. That's just a shopping district.
Right.
And it's not very big compared to Disney Springs in Florida, so that should be pretty easy. So the Master Services Union, which represents our retail cast at this location, previously signed an agreement for members to return to work. Now, it was the union that's basically like, hell no, you're not going back. In order to reopen our theme parks...
Yeah, they mentioned this. They're trying to cover that up.
Yep. In order to reopen our theme parks, we need to negotiate agreements with our unions to return employees to work. We have had positive discussions and are very pleased to have signed agreements from over 20 union affiliates, including Master Services Council, which represents more than 11,000 cast members. The signed agreement details plans that include enhanced safety protocols that will allow us to responsibly reopen and get thousands of cast members back to work. So it was the unions actually that were calling for Disneyland to stay closed.
Yeah, but they're like, we have signed agreements. That's basically what this says.
Yeah. Don't blame us, blame the union.
No, they said they have signed agreements. It's kind of like, well, they already agreed to this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but it turns out, I think it's more to do with the state, because now the state's, rolling back some things. And because of it, they're not going to have guidelines for theme parks out until the 4th of July, which is an odd date to put that out. So because of that, Disney does not yet know what those guidelines are going to entail, so they have to nix their July 17th reopening date.
So that, could sort of, lead us to the other conversation, which is Florida. Florida, they're seeing a surge in coronavirus cases, and we are wondering how long until the chatter begins again about Florida closing down parks or Disney not reopening in Florida. I don't know if that's going to be the case because Florida seems hell bent to open up.
Yeah, even before they gave opening dates, I was always watching the Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force meetings, and a couple people on there were constantly like, "When are you opening? Give us a date. When are you open? Can you give us a date so we know when we're opening? Because our whole economy depends on you reopening." To the theme parks in general, and they were pushing to get them open. And then here comes SeaWorld and Universal with early dates. Disney World, of course, wasn't opening beginning of June. They're opening July 11th and July 15th. But there has been a very large increase in cases. I don't care. I'm not making this political or anything else.
Yeah, just
by the basic facts. If you watch the video that they did and they talked to their medical person with the CDC, they are showing it's a significant increase. So they're not talking about canceling or closing them down yet, but there are some. It might come down to it. They might have to do some shutdowns. I mean, we don't know that yet, but it looks like it's heading that way. We're hearing scuttlebutt that it's heading that way. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't, but
yeah, there's some stuff going on. I know Diz Twitter was talking about the possibility of the parks being shut down again in Florida. Now, Disney stock dropped.
Oh yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that. Disney stock dropped when they announced after hours that Disneyland was shutting down. Now, Disneyland, though, its revenue compared to Disney World's is nothing really. I mean, Disneyland's it's big, but it's nowhere near the revenue that Walt Disney World.
No, it's more of a locals
in.
thing, or Disney World brings people in from. I mean, Disneyland does too, but not to the extent Disney World does.
Right. So Disney can basically, it could go without Disneyland being open for months. It cannot go. It cannot go with Disney World being closed because Disney World brings in the bulk of its theme park revenue. So this isn't like a deal breaker, but if they announce that they're going to hold off on Walt Disney World, the stock is going to freaking tank.
From what I've been hearing, Walt Disney World wasn't planning on opening until back to school started anyway, till August or September. So they were already kind of planning for it to be shut down. So I mean, they are figuring they both would be shut down that long. So I think they already that was like a scenario they already planned for.
Yeah, so this is the rumor, and I do believe this one. This is the rumor that's been going around that Disney was not going to reopen this early. They were actually planning on opening in the fall or even waiting until next year. That was plan B.
I think July was the earliest They had like different, if this happens, this happens scenarios. And I think July it was the earliest scenario they had.
Yeah, and what forced their hand was Universal announcing it was going to open in June. Mm-hmm. Now, people said that Universal. I've heard multiple things. I've heard some people are saying Universal's doing really well with their distancing. Other people are saying it's kind of like, the guests aren't following the rules.
It really depends what day you go and who's there and who.
Yeah.
You can't control people.
Kids especially are going to be a problem. SeaWorld, I heard, is just a mess. SeaWorld's open too.
SeaWorld was not at the meeting. The other people were, the Disney and Universal representatives were there, but the SeaWorld one was not.
Yeah, because they probably would have questions like, what's going on, guys? But Universal had to lay a bunch of people off. Because they were trying to get ready going forward. Now, this is an update on that. They just opened like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They're laying a bunch of people off. But they said that the people that are being laid off are not people that guests will see face to face. They're event management, props department, fabricators, things that might not affect guests day to day.
It does affect moving forward with some of the new expansions they were going to do and stuff
yes,
like that.
Yes, it does. So
they are paused, by the way.
Yeah, Epic Universe was supposed to open, 2023?
Yeah,
and that's
they've
probably
already paused it.
Yeah, so this is not a good thing. It says Universal is only allowed to operate at half capacity. Not all of their staff has been called back to work. For instance, Aaron Davidson is still home on furlough. After hearing about layoffs, he's afraid to pick up the phone anytime a call comes in from a 407 area code. I kind of immediately thought it was Universal, so I felt hesitant before I even answered the call. There's no word yet on the future of his job. I think this might happen at Disney, too. I do. I think some of those furloughs will become permanent.
Well, a lot of people that have been called back are like people that are the day-to-day people. If you have a job that's one of the behind-the-scenes jobs, you're allowed to take one of the positions.
Yeah.
If you're full-time, they might offer you the position to come in and run an attraction or something like that temporarily. It's supposed to be temporarily until your job comes back. That because they're filling in too for the college program, because Disney relies heavily on interns. College program and the culture exchange program, they're not restarting those anytime soon, so they're having cast members fill in the countries and fill in the jobs that these people would normally have. So those people have a job, but it's going to be lower paying, and it don't know if their jobs are going to come back for the regular jobs.
Everything we've been reading, even the theme parks, they're saying it's going to take them up to 2 years. I mean, they could even come up with a vaccine this winter, which is what we're hearing, is supposedly they think they're going to have a vaccine.
I heard next year, but anyway.
Well, even if they came up with a vaccine at the earliest at the end of this year, whatever, it's still going to take them another year or two to go back to normal. Because you got to realize everybody's got to be immunized. We have to get the economy rolling again. travel is a luxury. You know, spending thousands of dollars at Disney or Universal, that's a luxury item. A lot of people have been out of work for a while. I mean, we've got like, what, a third of the country unemployed right now?
Right. So people don't have the money. And that's just, I mean, let's be honest. And when people, and I get tired of these boards, and I'm going to rant for a second. I get tired of these damn message boards that are like, if someone says they're going to cancel their trip because they're worried about getting sick, maybe they have their high risk, or because they don't have the money. And then there's all these people on there like, well, good for you. More room for me. And it's always about them, and they belittle people for canceling. And it's like, you people are dicks. I'm sorry, but you're dicks. Because you know what? That's great if you want to go. No one's telling you can't go. But you don't get to have an opinion on anybody else's stance of why they can and can't go. And some people can't go because they lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Knock it off.
Suck a peach. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Mickey-shaped peach.
A Mickey-shaped peach. I think they grow those in the land. Do they?
No, they grow Mickey pumpkins.
Mickey pumpkins. You can make anything into Mickey.
Just take a couple years on and suck that peach.
There you go. Put three
Then
peaches
it's
together.
pixie dusted for you.
Pixie dusted, fuzzy peach. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta wonder. I'm seriously wondering if Florida isn't gonna postpone.
I would recommend if you're going to take a trip, you postpone.
Well, who wants to go down in Florida heat wearing a mask? It's gonna be 110 humidity.
Yeah, and I would go late this year when it's not so hot, or into next year. Mostly, I'm saying postpone because it's going to be flipping hot. And if you think wearing a mask in the humid heat is a good idea, then by all means go ahead and do it. But I would recommend waiting, especially if you want to take a family trip. A lot of things are shut down. They're not doing dessert parties. Their list is huge. They're not doing dessert parties. They're not doing parades. They're not doing fireworks. Or they canceled Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. You're getting like part of the trip for like full price. You're better. And then they were only letting you stay in the expensive hotels initially, which is something else. They just announced, well, didn't announce it, just disappeared. Animal Kingdom, the Villa Jamba House, it's off the list now for reopening. It's not even bookable for next year, and they have a whole big fiasco, which I'm not even going to get into, but their website keeps crashing, and then they're blaming it on user error.
User error.
Right. One of the Disney sites crashed. I know, surprise, right? Their site can't handle the traffic. Like, it's another day that ends in Y, and they're trying to say that it was user error.
Yeah, it's going to be a cluster. I mean, I can't stress to you enough that if you're a local and you've got annual passes, or that's even a cluster. But if you've got an annual pass or something, go check it out.
You can get your park pass reservation date.
If you can get it, that's a big if.
Make sure you, by all means, go. I mean, if you want to go, go. I'm not going to tell people not to go if they want to go. But if you're asking me my opinion professionally of whether or not you should go now or wait, I'm going to tell you, having done this for years, you should probably wait.
Yeah, I can't imagine taking kids out into the 110-degree Florida humidity, telling them they have to keep their masks on, and then trying to explain to them why they can't, go do this or go do that or touch this. Can't do meet and greets.
I mean, for the price they're going to charge you either way, you might as well just wait until things are open and you can actually go and do more. If you are fine with doing less and paying more, then go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to go. I mean, if you really want to go, you do you, fam. But I'm just saying, I would recommend people who want just a vacation, I would just wait.
Yeah, so are we going to wrap this one up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll keep you posted on any more dismal Disney news. I think we'll probably be getting a lot of that.
Yeah, every day something new happens, so.
Yeah, so check out piratesandprincesses.net. That is Geeky's Disney theme park blog, and she's got all kinds of news about all kinds of stuff going down with Disney and Universal. You can keep up to date on basically the closings. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.